Okay, I got another hat. Show off my hat game. Um, this is a little polemic, especially in the Seattle, Washington, greater Pacific Northwest region. But I like to wear it, go out, poke the bear a little bit. I can be a fan of both teams. I can root for the Mariners and the Astros. My nephews are from Dallas. My brother-in-law's from Houston. Big Astros fan, so I support that. Um, yeah, there's a baseball theme today. I'm gonna roll with that. Um, I wanted to share a little adage it's a proverb from, I think, ancient Chinese. I don't know how ancient. I don't know what the original scripture is, uh, but it's old-ish, and it is a very simple but not so easy mantra for how to spend your day, live your life. And this is the mantra: meditate before breakfast, nap after lunch, walk after dinner. Just let that sink in. Meditate before breakfast, nap after lunch, walk after dinner. I love the mantra in large part because it's designed around food and meals. And I love food and eating and mealing, breaking bread with people, cooking. I love food. So any lifestyle mantra that is designed and structured around eating, I'm in. Now I want to break down why that structure and that rhythm is so wise. And on days that so here, a good day, nah. A great day is when I do all three. I meditate before breakfast. I take a nap after lunch, walk after dinner. That is a banner day. Mwah. 10 out of 10, no notes. A good day is if I could do two of them, any two of them. If I could meditate before breakfast and then take a walk after dinner, maybe just take a nap after lunch and then a short walk around the block after dinner. An okay day is if I can just do one. Any one of those things is like, okay, I did one of those things. And if I do zero, it's still an okay day because that's life. And I can smile into the fact I did zero and be compassionate with myself and then check in and go, okay, how can I do one of those tomorrow? What happened today that that I got caught up in something, or I didn't have time, or I didn't have space to do one of these things or two of these things or all three of these things. So that's just a good reflection for myself at the end of the day. Is like, okay, how can I make space tomorrow? So it's not about beating yourself up or feeling guilty or shame or judgment if you didn't do them or all of them. Now, why is that so wise? Why is that structure so ancient? And why did a whole culture codify a healthy way of being around those three things in those three moments of the day? This is my perspective. First of all, meditate before breakfast. We're not going to get into meditation, what that is or isn't. It's a concept. There are many versions of it. Meditation is a feeling. But I'll just say for today, let's just call it sitting in silence. Let's just use that as a real functional way and a placeholder. So sitting in silence before breakfast, the reason it's important before breakfast is because your body is at its most detoxified state. Most detoxified, least toxified. It has been fasting. So your small intestine specifically has been not working. It's got a chance to rest. Your stomach is empty. Your heart is not sending blood into your digestive organs in order to break down the food. Your large intestine, well, it's working, but it's working in a different rhythm. Your brain has active blood flow because, again, the blood is not being drawn to digest the food. It's the morning. There's hope. The sun rose again. We're still alive. The morning is really potent. So that's a really beautiful time to sit in that potency, in that silence, in the morning before the day accumulates, before things that are way beyond our control are going to happen to us, and we have to respond to them and deal with them. That morning time is sacred. So what better thing to do in a sacred moment of the day than something sacred? And doing nothing, being in silence, sitting with yourself, your own being, your own breath, listening to your heart, your heartbeat, your life. That's a beautiful thing to do before you consume anything. Before you consume. So, meditating before breakfast, even if it's for 5 minutes, shoot, 1 minute. 1 minute. Just being there in that moment before you have to engage fully with the rest of the world. Now, again, some days we can't do that, but it's aspirational. And the more we make it an aspiration, the more it happens. So meditating before breakfast. Napping after lunch. This one might just be more intuitive. Also involuntary. Red Bull had a commercial. I think it was Red Bull years ago called That 2:30 Feeling. Was it Red Bull? Anyway, it was basically saying that moment after work when you've eaten lunch and all of your blood is down in your belly and your body wants to turn off and go to bed. That 2:30 feeling when you feel exhausted. And the whole commercial was to wake you back up. That's the society and conditioning we live in. Because what your body is saying is, yo, I'm tired. I want to not engage, not think, not be analytical, not be productive. I want to go to bed. Even for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a little power nap. It's the reason it's called a power nap. So you power off the computer. You recharge. You empower. It's an empowering nap. So our body naturally wants to do that after lunch. Now you could say, well, why not after breakfast, after dinner? Well, after lunch is the height of the day. It's the most warm part of the day. It's the most yang part, which means the way to balance that is to find the yin. And the yin is to sleep, at least to shavasana, surrender, starfish yourself on the ground. Even if you don't nap, just after lunch, if you lie on the ground, it's so good for your organs to be able to sit facing up. So if you lie on your back, it's a great way to rest in that height of the day. We're balancing the yang of the day, the yin of our body. If lying on your back doesn't sound comfortable, you can put pillows under your knees, something under your head, or lie on your side, or in a bed, or on a couch. Doesn't matter. The point is napping after lunch, or at least the intention of napping, slowing down your nervous system. Your food is already slowing down your nervous system. The heat of the day is already slowing down your nervous system. The height of the sun is asking you to go slow, to do less, to not think so much. And which is why, it's really hard when we live in a society and a culture that asks us to be productive in that moment when our body does not want to be. It wants to be restorative. So it's very countercultural. It's very revolutionary to take a nap after lunch. I know that might sound silly, but I'll say it again because it's true. It's very countercultural. It's a macro political statement. It's a revolutionary thing to stop in the middle of the day. It's like a little mini protest against productivity and capitalism, to lie down and do nothing. It's also deeply healing for you. So, napping after lunch. The last one, walking after dinner. This one I love. Also because I just did a video. You can check it out. Maybe you already did, when I talked about squirming in the morning and stretching in the evening. This is still true. You can still stretch in the evening. When I say evening, I guess I mean really after you brush your teeth, take a shower right before you go to bed, just allowing your body to sort of the last step before the penultimate step before the sleep is the stretch. Walking after dinner, let's imagine you had dinner at 6, which is a healthier, earlier time to eat than like 9. But sometimes it's fun to eat at 9. I know. It's really good to have at least 3 hours between your last bite and when you go to sleep. As a rule of thumb, 3 hours is good. So inside that 3 hours, right after you have dinner, take a little walk. Before you do the dishes, take your partner, your kids, your parents, whatever, go on a little walk around the block. It's funny how you go for a little walk and it turns into a slightly longer walk than you thought because it's fresh air. That's one well, fresh. Depends where you're at, but it's space, it's outdoors. So part of that is just extending the horizon and extending the vista. Is healthy to make space. When we have space externally, we can have some space internally. But also what it's doing is you're walking off the day. The day has accumulated. The sediment of the day has landed. Depending on the day, the sediment might be a little harder or dirtier or more toxic than other days. So when you walk, it's a way to send that sediment and that energy down through the body, through the feet, back into the earth. And the earth is the great recycler. The earth goes, thank you. I will take all of your garbage, all of your emotional baggage, send it to me. I will compost it. So when we walk literally through our heel and our ball of the foot, we are working out the day. We are working out the emotions of the day. We are working out the stored up, stuck survival stress, which turns into trauma of the day by walking. Also, it supports our lymph system because when your arms swing, when you walk, you rub your armpits. And when you rub your armpits, imagine I'm walking, the lymph nodes get massaged. The toxins that are stored in there can be released in the bloodstream and then exit out through the waste products. Your hips, you've been sitting a lot, especially people that work in a chair at an office. When you walk, you extend the hips, the pelvic floor, the legs can elongate. Walking is the best. Walking is just the best. So when you walk after dinner, you walk off the day. You walk off the day. You reintegrate yourself from head to fingertips to toe tips. I like that in Spanish. It's all called your fingers. Your fingers and your toes are both dedos, fingers. So your whole limbs, head to toe, front to back, left to right, when you walk, you integrate that. And when you integrate that at the end of the day, it supports your rest. So let me recap. Meditate. When? Before breakfast. Nap. When? After lunch. Walk. When? All the time. Now, after dinner. Meditate before breakfast. Nap after lunch. Walk after dinner. Write that on a piece of paper. See what that does. Put it in a space where you can see it. Maybe start by just doing one of them. Start by just which is easiest, which is most accessible in your day-to-day routine. If walking after dinner is like, yeah, I got 10 minutes, I can take a walk around the block. Do it. Start with that. Say maybe, now you know what actually is easiest for me? I have an hour lunch break. I'm going to eat for half an hour, 45 minutes, and I'm going to lie on the ground for 10 minutes. Great. Even lie in a chair, lean back, relax, do nothing. Or maybe you have space in the morning. You get up 10 minutes earlier and just bathe in that potency. I hope this helps. It helps me. I only talk about the things that I do. I only share the practices I practice. That is my commitment when I talk to teachers and teach teachers. I say, only teach the things you practice. because that's all we have to share is our life experience. We don't have to know everything. We don't have to be perfect at it. We're just sharing our experience. And in my experience, doing those 3 things, meditating before breakfast, napping after lunch, walking after dinner, or 2 of them, or 1 of them, or sometimes none, and being compassionate with myself anyway, is a beautiful way to practice. I hope that helps. Subscribe, share in the comments your perspective, your experience. Share this video with a friend or an enemy or a frenemy. Share this video. Everyone gets up in the morning and goes to bed at night and usually eat lunch. So this is applicable to everyone, almost everyone, not everyone. Share it. Not just for me. It's not for me. It's for them. It's for all of us, so that our collective nervous system, the collective field, is a little more balanced and regulated. I think sometimes if I can't take a nap after lunch, someone is taking a nap for me. It's like, thank you. That's regulating us. And sometimes I do it and I go, I got you. You didn't have time today. I'm doing it for both of us. So share it for both of us. Be well.